So just some reminders before we get into the video. First reminder is to make sure that you're keeping an eye out and an ear out for the key word for this lesson. Reminder number 2 is to make sure you're taking notes. Include the date, lesson number, aim, and standards to help you refer back in your notes. Let's get to it. So welcome back, guys. We are in our second unit. First lesson, we're going to be talking about ratios and rates. So our aim for today is going to be how can we describe and compare two different quantities using ratio and rate language, and that's a 6th grade and a 7th grade standard. So the first word we're going to deal with is ratio. This is a comparison between two numbers by using division. It could be written 3 different ways. Answers are represented in the lowest terms. Lowest terms is also simplified. So the 3 different ways that you can write a ratio is as a fraction, you can use words, specifically the word to, and then you can also rewrite it with a colon. So let's say our example is 2/3 to 2/3 into colon 3. Those are the 3 different ways that we can write a ratio. So a rate is a ratio that compares two quantities with different measures. So for example, miles per hour is a very common example of a rate. Another common example of a rate is price per gallon, price per item in the store, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is unit rate. So unit rate is a ratio that has a denominator of 1. So this is commonly known as miles per gallon. How many miles can you travel on 1 gallon? Or cost per item. How much does it cost for 1 item, 1 t-shirt? How much is it for 1 apple? So these vocabulary words are very important for this unit. So let's move on. We're going to cover some strategies to solve for unit rate. So when you're scaling up or you're scaling down, this is within a proportion. So let's say we have 2/3 equals something over 9. So we would have to say, okay, I know 3 to get to 9, we have to multiply by 3. So that means to get from 2 to whatever's in the numerator for 9, we're going to multiply by 3. So x is going to equal 6. We can use division and say y is divided by x. Y is your dependent variable. So what is going to change based on the independent variable? Let's try the first example. So here we have the first question. Barry's gym offers members 2 options for the refreshment bar: bottles of water and protein bars. For every 3 protein bars, Barry sells 4 water bottles. So we need to write the ratio of water bottles to protein bars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, water to protein bars, and then I'm going to go back in my problem and see which is going to go first. So 4 to 3, I can rewrite it in 4:3 or 4/3. Even though you can simplify this improper fraction, we want to keep it as an improper fraction. So any one of those ratios would be the answer. So number 2, CVS has 2 different promotions for Arizona iced tea. 4 cans for $5. Then we have 12 cans for $18. So we need to see which one is the better buy. In order to find the better buy, this should be a hint at finding the unit rate. When you find how much 1 can of Arizona iced tea sells for each promotion, you can compare which one is the best for you and why, because you have to justify. So here we have, again, 4 cans for $5, and then we have 12 cans for $18. We need to figure out which one would be the better buy. I'm going to set mine and find 5 divided by 4. So that means 18 divided by 12. I'm going to get $1.25 per can. And then 18 divided by 12 is $1.50 per can. So your answer here, which is the better buy? So I would say $5 for 4 cans is the better buy because of the cheaper unit rate. If you want to justify it even more, you can say by how much because of the cheaper unit rate, which was 25 cents less. That works as well. So moving on to number 3. Try this one on your own, and then come back and we will work on it together. So for number 3, Michelle runs 2.25 miles in 30 minutes. How many miles can she run in an hour? Explain the process you used to arrive at your answer. So what I'm going to do is I know that Michelle is running 2.25 miles in 30 minutes. We're going to be comparing it with ratios to a certain amount of miles ran in an hour. So in 1 hour, that's 60 minutes. So what we can do is say minutes is in our numerator, minutes is our denominator, miles is our numerator, and we're just going to set up our ratios and our proportions. So 2.25 miles in 30 minutes, and we need to see how many miles can be run by Michelle in 60 minutes. So I know from 30 to 60, I need to multiply by 2. So in order to get from 2.25 to the missing piece, you have to multiply it by 2. So 2 1/4 changes to 9/4 times 2/1, 18/4. And that goes in 4.5 times. Well, technically you have 4 2/4, which would be 4.5 miles in 1 hour. So the other part of this question is asking you to explain the process you used to arrive at your answer. This will change. You didn't have to use your proportion and scaling up and scaling down. That's completely up to you. But your process should follow what you and how you solved for this question. And that is it for our first lesson in Unit 2. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.